14 cents. That's what it costs to send 1 million words to DeepSeek's new model. The same thing on GPT-5.5? $5. That's a 36 times difference. And that's not even the craziest part of what just happened in April. In the last 2 weeks, 4 different AI labs dropped 4 frontier models, all within 8 days of each other. Let's start with the one that broke the internet this week, DeepSeek V4. Their philosophy is simple. Frontier performance should not require frontier prices or frontier hardware. But here's why this isn't just a pricing story. DeepSeek V4 was trained on Huawei Ascend chips, not NVIDIA. They built their own compiler called TileLang to replace CUDA. They released the whole thing under an MIT open source license. This is a Chinese lab saying, we don't need your hardware, we don't need your software stack, and we'll open source the result so anyone can verify it. Now, is it as smart as GPT-5.5? No. DeepSeek themselves admitted V4 is 3 to 6 months behind the top US models on raw reasoning. When to actually use it? High-volume batch processing, internal tools, intent classification. Anything where you're making thousands of API calls, and the per token cost is what kills your budget. When not to use it? Anything safety critical. Anything where you need the absolute best reasoning. Or anything where debugging a slightly wrong output costs you more than the money you saved. GPT-5.5 scored 82.7% on TileLang 2.0. That's a benchmark that tests whether a model can actually use a computer, navigate software, create spreadsheets, run terminal commands, debug across large code bases. Not write me a function, actually operate tools end to end. It's also 72% more token efficient than GPT 5.4, which means it does more with less. In live bench testing, GPT 5.5 actually struggles more than 5.4 at completing tasks without human intervention. The new agentic logic sometimes overcorrects. It second-guesses itself, gets stuck in loops, or drifts from the original instruction on longer tasks. When to use it? DevOps automation, multi-tool workflows, anything where the task has clear steps and you need AI to execute, not just suggest. When not to use it? Very long autonomous sessions without checkpoints. And if cost is your primary constraint, you're paying a 36 times premium over DeepSeek for that agent capability. Anthropic's bet is different. AI should think deeper, not move faster. Opus 4.7 leads SWE-bench Pro at 64.3%. That's the benchmark for fixing real bugs in real code bases. Not toy problems, actual production software. It also leads GPQA Diamond, a test of graduate-level reasoning across physics, chemistry, and biology. In practical terms, Claude Code, which runs on Opus, has become the go-to tool for developers doing complex refactoring. Not writing new code from scratch, restructuring existing systems. That's a very different, much harder problem. When to use it? Mission-critical code that has to work the first time. Large legacy code bases. Safety-sensitive applications. Anything where a subtle bug costs you more than a few extra dollars in API fees. When not to use it. Simple tasks. If you're classifying intents or generating boilerplate, you're lighting money on fire using Opus at $5 per million input tokens. And here's something interesting. Anthropic has a model above Opus now, but they won't release it. I'll explain why at the end. Kimi K2.6 is built by Moonshot AI out of China. 1 trillion total parameters, but only 32 billion active at any time. Same mixture of experts approach as DeepSeek. But here's what makes it different from everything else on this list. Agent swarms. Kimi doesn't just run one AI agent. It can spawn up to 300 sub-agents running in parallel, coordinating up to 4,000 steps across a single task. And it can sustain this for 12 plus hours without human intervention. Think about what that means. You give it a research task, analyze every competitor's pricing page, summarize changes, flag anomalies. And instead of one model reading pages one by one, 300 instances fan out and do it simultaneously. Moonshot claims up to 4.5 times speed up over single agent approaches. And the whole thing is open weights. You can run it yourself. It's compatible with frameworks like OpenClaw. When to use it? Large-scale research, multi-step data pipelines, overnight processing jobs. Anything where the bottleneck is parallelism, not intelligence. When not to use it? Tasks that require a single coherent chain of thought. The swarm approach trades depth for breadth. For a hard math proof or a subtle code refactor, you want Opus, not a swarm. 4 models, 4 bets. But there's a 5th player nobody's talking about. Anthropic's unreleased Mythos model, and the leaked claim that it's already mapped thousands of zero-day vulnerabilities across every major OS. That breakdown drops next week. Hit subscribe so it shows up in your feed. And in the comments, tell me which of these 4 you're actually using. I read every one. See you in the next.